now what we're going to do is take advantage of a very powerful feature of Houdini, which is the ability to treat pixels the same way as we treat points and primitives and process them with as much freedom as we do with points and the primitives. So basically, referring to the COPS network, let's create a COP network. And here we're going to be able to process the information that we have and transform it and generate some nice extra maps that will be useful for applying the materials in your game engine. So let's go inside and we'll start by importing a SOP. So we'll create a SOP import, and what we want to import is this output. Okay, let's have a look at it. So this is basically still a height field, and the information that we have is this. So this is where we're going to get our these layers. So we have a field that refers to where the grass is supposed to go, a field for rock, and a field for sand, and we also have a field for trees. So we count 4 material textures that we can combine into a single map using the COPS network, and that will make it much easier to export, and we can access each individual channel in pretty much any material editor that you might find. But that way you only have to import a texture, and there's only one texture for channels, and on each one of those channels you'll have a particular field. So let's see how we do that. So here on the SOP import, I'm going to grab that node, the out height field remapped, accept, go dive inside again. Let's go to the composite view. Here on the image, let's do an override. Let's work with 2K for now. You can go as high as you want, but for now, let's just keep this at 2K. And when you open the SOP, we're gonna press this button, which is gonna detect which channels are available or the information that's available on the SOP and convert it into different channels. And here we have all the channels that we created so far. Now we can look at them individually here. Okay, look at the bedrock, we can look at the sediment, height field, flow, anything you might think of is available. So using the evop cop2 generator, so basically it's just a evop node for us to generate something. We'll dive inside. Let's connect this here, or it's the same thing. Let's dive inside, and basically what we want is the same principle or the same processes you would use when dealing with points or primitives applies exactly the same thing. So we're going to use a bind to grab some information, some attribute. In this case, I'm going to start with the rock, and I'm going to say the rock information is going to go on the red channel. Next, I'm going to grab the grass. I'll say the grass is going to go for the green channel. Finally, we'll copy this and say that the sand is going to go on the blue channel. And the last one is going to be just the trees. And we're going to connect the trees to the alpha. Okay, so now if we look at the different channels here at the bottom, we can look at the rock, the grass, the sand, and the trees. This is something that we're going to be exporting as well. Pretty straightforward, nothing complicated, but very powerful because we're importing this directly from the geometry. So in case we change the input on our nodes, this is going to update automatically as well.